on YouTube, and my podcast, my channel is called CNY Woman Enjoys Yarn Therapy. And you found me. I'm working on a baby blanket. The pattern is called the From the Middle Baby Blanket, and it's the Yarnspirations pattern is linked in the description for this video. It's basically a modern granny blanket, and it's really cute and really easy to do. You can also look up the Crochet Crowd has done a tutorial on this, so I am not going to do a tutorial on it because somebody else has already done it. Hi Ronnie, welcome in. I'll show you what I'm working on. It's very, very difficult to see because it's variegated yarn, but it is like a modern granny blanket. There's the center, and then you can kind of see the grannies stack on top of each other. Hi Kristen, welcome in. So I'm working on the From the Middle blanket. Oh, I was watching you on TV, that's why I didn't say anything. Oh, okay. No problem. This pattern is called From the Middle Baby Blanket by Yarnspirations. And Mikey from the Crochet Crowd has done a tutorial for this as well. So I linked back to the pattern from Yarnspirations. I didn't link to his tutorial, but you can find it if you just go into the YouTubes and basically look for his tutorial. It's just From the Middle Baby Blanket is all you got to put in and you'll find it. It's an older tutorial, but it's a really quick pattern. I started this yesterday afternoon / evening, and I'm almost done with one skein. I've got this much left, so maybe a third of the skein left, and it takes 3 skeins of yarn. I'm going to use, I know these are unusual colors for a baby blanket, but I felt like it would be okay. They're sort of Victorian colors or Victorian Christmas colors, so I thought, why not? Somebody's going to like it for a baby blanket. And then I've got a color called Smoky Green somewhere. Is it within reach? Yes. I've got this color, Smoky Green, to go with it. I got new yarn today, Garden Party 6, Walmart. Oh, cool. Who makes it? Because I haven't heard of that before. You'll have to pardon the noise in the background. I've got my coat in the washer. I accidentally spilled something on it, so I decided to throw it in the washer. Oh, Red Heart makes it? Red Heart Garden Party. I'll have to check that out. Is it like Super Saver, or is it an entirely new kind of yarn? Oh, Easy Stripes. Okay, gotcha. What color do I have? I have Iris Blooms. I've got Easy Stripes too, but I've got Iris Blooms for it. I got 3 of those from Ollie's. and I was supposed to get picked today. The Bernat Blanket Pixel was supposed to be delivered today, and what they sent me, you know, Yarnspirations fulfills it for them, so they totally picked the wrong thing. They sent me 2 skeins of Simply Soft. I was like, you've got to be kidding. So I got to return it to the store and get my money back. They'll refund it to me. So I don't want to chance it again, trying to order it again. You know, it's pointless. Ronnie says, I got 3 and then 1, then 3 from Walmart. Oh, okay. And Kristen says, oh, geez. Yeah. Yarnspirations, you never know what you're going to get. Their warehouse is not the best. I've had weird things happen to my orders. And then sometimes it's perfect. But, you know, it's just a pain because with Walmart, you got to return it to the store to get your refund. Where if you order something from Yarnspirations, they're like, oh, just keep it and we'll send out what you're supposed to get. You know, so I guess they've been better lately. The YouTube streets have been saying their stuff's okay. You know, I'd rather they take their time with the order and fulfill it correctly. But I mean, it's hard to mistake Bernat Blanket and Karen Simply Soft, you know. Michael's does the same that Yarnspirations does. Yeah, I stopped at Michael's today. I had an eye doctor appointment. They did not have to dilate my eyes, so that was good. That's why I'm able to do the live. And I stopped at Michael's because I had a $5 voucher. The only thing they had on clearance was the Granny Square yarn, and it was $7 a skein, and it was rough, and I didn't want it. So what I ended up doing was they were having a 30% off all their yarn sale. So I went and found Loops and Threads dishcloth cotton that was $2.29, or it was $2.99 a skein, and it wound up being $2.09 a skein. So then I got 3 of those in one color, and I had a $5 voucher. So I took it down with tax to $1.33 for 3 skeins. So I think I did well. So that was what I did. Yeah, it's kind of a pain in the ass there because they make you put your phone number in or your email or whatever. And I was like, you know, I rang everything in myself because it was self-checkout. And then I said to the girl, why isn't it showing my $5 voucher? And she goes, well, it doesn't show it automatically. You have to like go to your email or your app and then scan it in. It's really weird. I mean, you would think those things would be tied so it would come up automatically, you know, so that if you had a $5 voucher and you didn't know it, you could just, you know, it would just ring in automatically. I mean, I think it's a kind of a way to cheat people if you don't remember. You know, what if I hadn't remembered that I had a $5 voucher? You know, it's kind of shady in my book. But anyways, so that's my I'm done purchasing with Michaels for the time being. I don't need any more yarn. So I got this. I brought the corner to corner with me to the eye doctor and maybe got 2 rows done. I'm pretty close to being able to do the decreases, but I wanted to show you guys something different today, so this is what I'm working on. I know it looks like a big giant weird mess, but I kind of like the colors together. What color is this anyways? This is Plum Fields of Bernat blanket. And the other one that I'm going to put with it is going to be Smoky Green, because I had done a blanket with Smoky Green and I couldn't find that 4th skein. It was freaking behind the recliner. If I had looked, it was there. It had fallen. So it wound up being okay because I did it with like a V stitch. Actually, I did it with the iris stitch. That was the iris stitch blanket. So I didn't even need the 4th skein because it was such a economical use of the yarn. And I talked to my cousin's son, who the son and daughter-in-law are expecting a baby. We talked about that already. And I'd ordered white yarn from Walmart, the Mainstays anti-pilling acrylic in white. And it turns out white is kind of what they want. They asked me to make a hat for the baby. Okay, you only want a hat. And Ronnie says I went to the dermatologist today. They wanted a 2x2 rib hat knitting for the baby, which is fine. I can totally make that. That is not a big deal. He was trying to describe it to me, and then he finally just sent me a picture. And Ronnie said she had a biopsy at the dermatologist. Well, I hope everything goes well with that, Ronnie. And Kristen says, I hope everything works out, Ronnie. Oh, you have tumid lupus. Oh, okay. I know about regular lupus. I don't know tumid lupus. I'm assuming it's an offshoot of it. Or a different kind of lupus. So they wanted a 2x2 rib hat, which, like I said, I can totally make that. It's not very hard to make at all. I just have to find a baby hat pattern that is the right size. I'm going to make a newborn size, and then I'm going to make a 6-month size, you know. So they have a little hat to take baby pictures with. And then I'm going to make a 5-hour baby cardigan too. Okay. Anybody see my mistake right there? See what I did there? I didn't do chain 3 over this. I just joined it. So Mindy's got to rip out. Mindy's got to rip it out. All right, so I got to go back here. So I'll stick my hook in there. Ronnie says, I am supposed to be in the sun. Okay. Luckily, Bernat blanket frogs pretty easily because I've got to rip out lots of rows, at least a whole row. That's what happens when you crochet when you get tired. And I caught myself a couple of times yesterday doing that. Oh, you're not supposed to be in the sun. Gotcha. Okay. So my hook's still in there. So I got 2 sides to go with just the single crochet and chain 3. There we go. Now we're back to normal. Now I can do my chain 3 single crochet, which is, this is like a modern granny. So see, they stack on top of each other. And Kristen says that stinks, Ronnie. So all I'm doing is creating like a base chain, basically. So this round I do the base chain, and then the next round I'll do granny clusters on top of the chain 3s. So that's how you do it. So that's the whole row, this whole row, chain 3 and single crochet. Yep, that's the whole row. And then the next row I switch to doing 3 double crochets, chain 3, 3 double crochets in the corners, and then you do 3 double crochets on top of the 3 chains, and there's no chain 1 or anything between them. So Like I said, the pattern is linked in the description for the video, so if you want to check it out, you can. It's pretty easy. And like I said, Mikey from the Crochet Crowd has a tutorial for it too. So, and I did my single crochet in the wrong spot. Hello, Jay. Welcome in. Turn this around. And this blanket should end up being 36 by 36 when I'm done. Kristen says, cool. It's a fast blanket. Mikey said it took him 3 hours to do it. It obviously takes me longer. It's going to take me a few days to do this. Let me do this a little bit so we're a little bit elevated. 2, 3. Let's see. Kristen says, so the restoration guys have been painting today. I'm hoping I can close the basement door once they're done because I really don't want the cat going down there. He would absolutely would once they're done and gone for the day. Yeah, that's all you need is a cat with wet paint. Those two things don't go well together. All right, so now I've made it all around. I did my chain 3 single crochet, chain 3 single crochet. I made a rose bouquet, said Ronnie, and I sent it to my other aunt. She got it today. Oh, nice. Okay, so now I can do my slip stitch and then chain 3 to start the round, and then I do 2 double crochets. And Kristen says, that's awesome, Ronnie. And then I did chain 3 in the corner. And then I'm going to do 3 more double crochets for my other part of my corner. And Katharina, I'm working on a baby blanket that's a modern granny. You can find a link to the free Yarnspirations pattern in the description for this video. So you can go get your copy of the free pattern. And Mikey from the Crochet Crowd has done a tutorial, a video tutorial for this on his channel. It's called the From the Middle Baby Blanket. So I'm not going to like try and teach you how to do it or anything like that, because somebody else has already done that. But I'm just showing you what yarn I'm using and me crocheting, and give you a general idea of what it's like. So our previous row was chain 3 above the granny cluster and then single crochet between them. And then on the corners it was single crochet, chain 3, single crochet. So now I'm starting my next row, which is chain 3 up after doing a slip stitch, double crochet, chain 3, 3 double crochets. I don't chain in between the double crochets, and then I do 3 more on the chain 3 from the previous row. So it's like you build yourself a little chain on the previous row, and then you do the granny clusters on top of that. And I'll kind of show you what it looks like. It's kind of hard to see with this, but you can see how the granny clusters line up above each other. Here's one, here's one, here's one. And you just alternate between those 2 rows until the blanket is as big as you want it to get. So it's pretty easy to do. And it goes fast. And Catherine says, very pretty colors. And pardon me if I'm mispronouncing your name. I'm kind of taking a stab at it. And if anybody's got any questions, feel free to put them into the chat. I crochet and knit, so if you have any questions about crochet or knitting, I can answer them probably. And I do have I have playlists on my channel for learn how to crochet and learn how to knit. So if you've always wanted to learn one of those things, you can use those videos for free. You can just subscribe to my channel and check it out. And if you subscribe, then you'll know when I go live too. Because I usually do not pre-schedule my lives. I'm usually fly by the seat of my pants, because when I try and schedule them with my phone, it does not let me schedule them as vertical lives. It only does horizontal lives. and I want to do vertical lives. So I just go by the seat of my pants. So that's what the story is with that. And Kathy, aka Crazy Knitting Nana, is here and says hi, Mindy, and all in the chat. Oh boy. Sorry, I'm yawning. I did get enough sleep last night, but this is kind of the time of the day when I get home. Thank you. It's the color is called Plum Fields. And the pattern is From the Middle Baby Blanket from Yarnspirations. It's linked in the description for the video so you can get your own free copy of the pattern. It takes 3 skeins of Bernat blanket or Bernat baby blanket. And Kristen says, hi, Kathy. And Kathy says, it's a pretty blanket. Thank you. So anybody want to see the hook that I got from Temu today? Hi, Jennifer. Welcome in. If you want to see the hook that I got from Temu, oh, and Kathy says, yes, please. And Jennifer says, I crochet and knit too. Cool. And Kathy says, hi, Jennifer. All right, let me get this stitch done. And I got to lean over so you'll get a close-up of the yarn. Oh, of course it fell out of the packaging into my bag. So I'll show you 2 things. Hang on one second. So first I'm going to show you the yarn that I got at Michael's. This is what I bought at Michael's. I bought 3 of these. It has some Easter eggy type colors in it. It's loops and threads, classic cotton. 100% cotton. 4 recommends a H hook, 5mm. So I got 3 of those. I had a $5 voucher. There was a sale for 30% off, so I wound up paying $1.33 for 3 skeins, which is really good. This is the hook I got. Okay, so this is the brand. Savarter. This is the hook. It has 8mm engraved on it. It's pink. Feels like plastic. Feels pretty smooth. I'm going to use it the next time I make a baby blanket so I can really give it a test. And let you know how it goes, because I use that single crochet in the back loop pattern, and that takes an 8mm hook. So I'll use that at some point. I'll show it to you up close. There is a slight raising in the middle, but it's nothing, it's not sharp or anything like that. I'm not sure how much I paid for it, because, I mean, like, Temu does weird things, and you never really know how much you pay for anything. But I've seen that brand also on Amazon too, with some like aluminum hooks. So Kathy says, I went to Walmart today to get my husband a shirt and return a pair of shoes. I was good and didn't buy any yarn. Kristen said it's pretty. And Jennifer says, I really like it. Yeah, my true test is going to be when I get hooks that are kind of like these Prim ergonomic hooks. I wound up getting a set of 6 for 13 cents because they had a $5 coupon and they didn't charge me shipping. So I'm going to get 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 12mm. So that'll be good. So I can do a comparison between those and the Prims when I get them. Because I figured if I can get a set for 13 cents, why not? But pretty soon, as soon as I get all my Temu stuff in, then I'm going to delete the app because, like, I don't need any more crochet stuff. I really don't. Oops, lost my stitch. I used to have a hook like the one you're using, but in pink. Oh, cool. Yeah, this is, they're the Prim ergonomic hooks. I really like them, so I'm eager to see if the Temu hooks are similar. If they are, then I'll have a nice, I have doubles of a lot of my Prim larger size hooks because I use them a lot. But I want to see if this set that I get from Temu is worth bothering with, because even at $5.12 for 6 hooks, it would have been a good price. Because I really like the Prim ergonomic hooks a lot. I use them primarily for my stuff. The only down part is they do not make a 6.5mm one. It goes from 6 to 7mm because it's European sizing. Yes, I'm working on a blanket called From the Middle baby blanket. It's a free pattern, Yarnspirations, that's linked in the description for this video, so you can go get your own free copy of the pattern. And Mikey from the Crochet Crowd has done a video tutorial for it as well. So that's why I'm just crocheting away on it, and I'm not really going into too much detail about it because his video is available, so you can see about that. Let me go back here and chain 3 again. It takes 3 skeins of Bernat blanket. I think the next time I make this, I'm debating doing it in ethereal stripes because I think that would be kind of cool. But I wanted something that was quick because I have a deadline coming up this weekend of turning in my blankets this month for Project Linus. So I wanted to squeeze one more blanket out because I don't know that I can get the corner to corner one done by the end of the week. So I was like, I know I can do a Bernat blanket one in like 3 or 4 days. So I started on this last night. Let's see, me too. I'm working on a blanket for my school because my art teacher hangs my blankets up and gives them to a random student. A lot of kids at my school don't have a good home life, so I crochet for them. Cool. That's great, Jennifer. And Barbara's here and says hi, and Canul is here and says hi. And Kristen says, that's awesome, Jennifer. And Kathy says also, that is wonderful, Jennifer. And in case you wonder, I read out the chat for people that can't see that great. And Jennifer says, thanks and thank you. And Kathy says, hi, Barbara and Canul. Yeah, and I got to wash and dry my blankets before Saturday or Sunday when I drop them off too, because that library happens to be open Sunday. Ronnie says, I have a cat and I gave her a cat bath today with foam. Oh, good. I had to give my cat a bath a couple of times when she got into something. I can't remember what she got into, but we had to give her a bath in the sink, and she was not pleased because she had not grown up getting baths, so she was not used to them. And to say she was upset would be an understatement. She was not thrilled. Oh, she loved it? That's great. Myra, I am making a baby blanket called From the Middle. It's a free pattern from Yarnspirations, and I linked to the free pattern in the description for the video, so you can go get the pattern. It's a modern granny, see where the granny clusters line up on top of each other. And Mikey from the Crochet Crowd also has a video tutorial on how to do this blanket. So I'm not gonna, try and teach you how to do something that somebody else has already taught on. So you can find his video tutorial by just typing in "from the middle baby blanket" into YouTube and you'll find it. Or you can Google it, "from the middle baby blanket." I like to use easy patterns. That's how the blanket looks. My dog likes baths, says Jennifer. Whenever he gets one, he dries off and is silly and cute. Also, I use a granny square pattern for my blankets as well. Cool. And Shatika says, good afternoon and blessings. Yeah, you might like this pattern if you use blanket yarn at all. It's pretty easy. It's kind of a variation on the granny square. That's why they call it a modern granny, because all the things line up. The granny clusters line up. And it's pretty easy to do. And Kathy says, hi, Shatika. Let's see, what else do I have to tell you? So yeah, I went to the eye doctor today. Got to get new glasses at some point. I got to print out my vision plans card so then I can go to the optical store and get new glasses. And L8 Fun says, I love that combination. Thank you. It's Bernat Blanket, Plum Fields. Jennifer says, I have a science test tomorrow. I hope I do well. And Ronnie says, add chicken bacon ranch to Loopy. Today it was good. And Kathy says, my husband has to have cataract surgery on Thursday. Oh, my parents both had cataract surgery. Both the kind where you just use the laser on it and you get the cataracts off the lens, and they both had lens replacement surgery too. And Kathy says, hope you do too, Jennifer. Do well on your test. And Jennifer says, thanks. I hope your husband's surgery goes well, Kathy. Kathy says lenses are expensive. Yeah, they are. And Kathy says, you're welcome and thank you, Jennifer. Starting to rain outside. We're going from rain to snow tonight. And Jennifer says, "You're welcome, Miss Smile." Oh, 2,000 per eye, says Kathy about those lenses. That's a lot. Do yourself a favor too. Get him some safety glasses, because if his vision gets really good with the lenses, he's not going to have to wear glasses except probably read. And he'll forget the next time he goes to prune trees or do something with metal or something like that, that he needs to wear safety glasses. So do yourself a favor and buy a couple pairs of safety glasses now, because he won't have those glasses in front of him when he goes outside. I know that's something weird to say, but it's just people forget that they're not wearing glasses, and then they go outside and like almost poke themselves in the eye with a tree branch when they're pruning or something stupid. And Jennifer says, "Whoa, that's expensive." And Kathy says, "Great idea." Mindy, I wouldn't have thought of that. Yeah. I only know because my dad, all of a sudden, then all he had to wear glasses for was reading or working on the computer. He didn't need them for distance anymore. Of course, then many, many years later, he eventually went out. He eventually went blind from glaucoma, unrelated to the lenses, two separate conditions. And not completely blind, but enough so that he couldn't read anymore. Ben is getting distant as well. Oh, distance as well. Oh, okay, gotcha. And Ronnie says, "Oh, in my garden party, I cut out the brown." Kathy says, "Oh, how sad, Mindy." Yeah, by then he was in the nursing home, so he knew his way around. He was wheelchair bound. And I gotta tell you, the Alexa was like a godsend, because he could set alarms. He could ask it what time it was. He could ask about the weather. He could listen to the radio. He could listen to music. He could listen to his Penn State football games because they were on the radio station. So that thing was a godsend for him. And he could use it to make phone calls because it was tied to my cell phone. And I had all of his brothers and sisters' cell phone numbers, all their telephone numbers in my phone. So he could make phone calls. He used to call like them up every Friday, and then his sister-in-law, my aunt too. So that was good. So I got a slip stitch over to here. And then I got to do a single crochet. Oh, this is the other row. I have glasses. When I was younger, I stood behind some guys playing football at recess, and one of the guys' fingers somehow got in my eye and scratched my cornea, and that's how I got them. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. And Kristen says, oh, ouch. And Kathy says, oh, goodness. Yeah, I got pretty close to getting my cornea scratched. Luckily, the cat had some weird aim. Or somebody was smiling on me that day. Right now, I'm using 5 devices, says Ronnie. When I was a little kid, the cat was under the bed, and I decided to go under the bed and try and pull the cat out of the bed, out from under the bed. Jennifer says, yeah, it hurt, but now I love my glasses. Okay, cool. So I was pulling the cat out from under the bed, and she scratched me. Only her claw caught the underside of my eyelid, of my upper eyelid, and it caught like the skin of the upper eyelid, not the eye itself. So I was very lucky in that regard, but I was a screaming maniac as a little kid, when that happened. And my mother's like going, open your eye, and I can't, mommy, it hurts. So finally she got me to open my eye, and I could see fine, but they still brought me into the eye doctor to make sure I don't know who's looking down on you, but somebody is. He's like, you're very lucky. Don't go after the cat. Okay, I won't go after the cat again, I promise. So, there goes my hooks. All right, I think I'm going to wind it up pretty soon. Maybe a couple minutes more. Unless you guys want me to stay on. If you do want me to stay on, let me know in the chat. I almost lost my left eye to a German Shepherd when I was 7 years old. He missed an eyelash. Wow. And Prenguda is here. And Kathy said, hi, Branch. So I'm assuming Prenguda is Branch. And Ronnie says 2 phones are a clock, a timer on the TV. 1, 2, 3. Kristen says, I'll watch however long you'll be on. Yeah. I mean, it's not like I got a fixed dinner or anything. I had a protein shake before I got on, so that's my dinner tonight. And we've got a lot of people coming in, so we'll see how this goes. I'll hang out till you need to go, says Kathy. Okay. Sounds good. And somebody said hi, but I don't speak that language, so I don't know what the characters in their name are. But welcome in. Actually, I have a baked potato that I could eat for dinner later from Longhorn. That's a leftover. It's a loaded baked potato. That would be a good thing to have for dinner. So this is my chain 3 single crochet in between the granny clusters row. And my name is Mindy. I'm from Syracuse, New York, right in the middle of New York State in the United States. I've been doing this lives for about a year. I've been on YouTube for about 14 years. The channel has grown exponentially in the last year because all of a sudden everybody knew who I was. And they were like, hey, let's subscribe. So they did. And the channel grew from like about 500 subscribers up to almost 5,300 now. So that's huge. And all I do is just what I do here. I do my lives and I do some videos. But people like to watch me crochet. So that's what I do. And we sit and chat. So it all kind of works out. And Kathy says, that's awesome. And Kathy says, working on getting my channel to grow. Yeah, do these lives. People love them. If you're able to do a live, you know, if you have enough subscribers, definitely do it. Because I bought a $20 phone holder, and that's what my phone is clamped in. And I just use my phone and my Wi-Fi, and you just see me crocheting on a project. And people love it because they love to ask questions. You get a lot of new people. I did playlists that had learn how to crochet and learn how to knit. So people who might not normally see you or do a search for crochet might just be doom scrolling, I guess is what they call it. And they might come across you in a vertical live and be like, hey, I want to learn how to do that. How do I learn how to do that? Let's watch her for a while. And I run a pretty chill channel. So. And Kathy says, I have 286 subscribers. I have learned to knit and other videos. Okay. And Kristen says, that's how I found you, Mindy, doom scrolling. Yeah. Kathy, add a moderator, standard moderator. Okay, Kathy, I just made you a moderator. What that means is that you can drop your link now to your channel. And then everybody can go check out your channel. And anytime you come into my anytime you come into my live, you know, all I'll ask is, you know, just drop it once or twice a time. And then people can check you out. They can just click on the link and go to your channel. I usually do that with people that have channels. Like Crochet Queen 2140 has a channel. And Camille's Creations, Lori Stories, and Crochet. Who else? I know there's somebody else. It'll come to me in a minute or two. Michelle Schleeper, I believe I made her moderator. If I didn't, you should go check her out. They alternate who they do lives with. Her, Rosalie's Craft Creations, and Granny D Knit Pearl Squirrel. The three of them alternate between who's going to host at 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time every night. So they, you can look it up and see where they're going to be. I watch their lives and subscribe to them as well, says Kathy. And there's Kathy's link. If you want to check out Kathy's channel and subscribe over there, you can do that. I will have to check it out. And we're getting rain right now and wind. And Ronnie says, I think me. Yeah, Ronnie, you've got a channel too, don't you? That's who I was thinking of. Duh. It's one of my days. It's right there in front of me. I have a couple of shorts up showing my progress on a craft room, says Kathy. Cool. Very cool. I was just watching, who was I watching? The Yarn Geek before I came on. She's moving all of her yarn out of the studio into the house. I was like, holy cow, that's a lot of yarn to move. Ronnie says, yeah. Kristen says, I think it was today's. It's looking good. Yeah, it's crazy how she is moving it back. Yeah, but I can understand. She said that she's going to use the money that she was spending on that space and use it to go visit her kids. So I can totally see that, that you don't want to spend it for just storing yarn. Like it might have seemed like a good idea when they moved into the house. And Kathy says, thank you, Kristen. And Kathy says, I agree. Yeah, I mean, if I had a separate space to store my yarn, I would be all set, but I don't. And it's a 3-bedroom house. Really, I could put up shelves and take out furniture, but I didn't take out furniture, and the rooms are full of yarn now. Like the 2 spare bedrooms are kind of full of yarn now. A little bit. And the dining room is definitely full of yarn. You've seen the tour of my stash. So this is not a surprise to anybody. I've talked about how much yarn I have. You know, it's a lot of yarn. Lots and lots of yarn. And Kristen says, yeah, I am. Yep. I mean, I did a tour of my stash video. I don't know if it's still up there or not. I'm not revisiting that. Kathy says, our other house, I have an extra bedroom full of craft and yarn. Oh, wow. Yeah, I mean, I have like, most of my yarn is in totes. So I have like 30-gallon totes and 27-gallon totes and 18-gallon totes. But a lot of it is Bernat blanket, so it takes up a lot of space because they're 10.5-ounce skeins and they're a super bulky 6. And I bought yarn this year. I didn't buy a lot, but I bought some, and I'm getting some from Yarnspirations. Kathy says I understand about lots of yarn. Kathy says they are big. Yep. And it's primarily what I use because I need content for the channel. Plus, if I want to make blankets, it's easier to make a blanket with Bernat blanket than it is with worsted yarn. It doesn't take me forever to do it. I'd rather the kid had a blanket than me going, oh, I need to make a worsted weight blanket and have it be so pretty. I mean, even my worsted weight, I'm taking and doing like 2 strands at a time with a 15mm hook. Okay, I gotta go back. Oh. All right, that's my cue to end. My friend is trying to get a hold of me, so. And Kathy said, Kristen, I subscribe to you. Kristen, add as moderator. Add as moderator. Standard moderator. There. All right, I'm going to let you guys go for today. Have a good one. Bye.